Hi, my name is Claire, and I am so excited to give you some fun tips to get some blurry, romantic, fun portraits at your next session. If you are struggling to get clients, I have a fun freebie just for you. That is 10 ways you can market your photography business without using social media. So feel free to look at that in the link below, and let's get into those tips. So first, let's talk about settings. They will obviously be a lot different than normal portraits where you're trying to get the focal point really nailed in there. So let's go into Lightroom. Now to get this image, I had to bring my shutter speed down to about 1/15 of a second. And because it was such a slow shutter speed, I had to crank down my ISO to 80, and I really made my aperture super tight at 4.0. I could have actually made it a little bit tighter at like 5.6 or something like that, but I really had to compensate for my shutter speed being really slow. So in comparison, if you're trying to get specific blur in an image just without any movement, that would require aperture to be super open, the number being super low. So this image from that same session is at an aperture of 1.4 at a normal shutter speed at like 1/250 and an ISO of 80 there. Normally I start to incorporate fun blurry images into the session when we're about halfway through and they're already super comfortable with me already. So a couple of poses to do for blur would be to walk from right to left or left to right, and I have them look towards each other, normally smiling towards each other. I can have them pause, go in for a kiss, smile at each other, and that's a really great way just to make them feel close and comfy. And then I love to ask them to either do a twirl or start to dance, which is really fun because they just feel cozy. And then as they do a twirl, I normally ask them to pull each other in close for a kiss, which is really fun. It gets some laughter and fun going, and it's just a really fun addition to their classic portraits. So in terms of editing, I really like to use a black and white preset on my blurry photos. So if you don't already have a black and white preset going, you can always go to the profile section here in Lightroom and do Adobe Monochrome. And then I just bring down the exposure to where I need it and then bring up contrast a bit. And then if you want it to look more like film, you can bring up texture, which I really like. It's a little bit more subtle than grain. Bring down clarity just a touch, and you are pretty much good to go. I'm hoping these tips help spark some creativity, and so you can try these out at your next session.